All right, let's talk about turning web development chaos into clean, beautiful code. Today, we're going to demystify two really powerful tools that'll help us do just that: Bootstrap 5 and Sass. Let's dive right in. You know that feeling, right? You build a website, it looks absolutely perfect on your laptop, and then you pull it up on your phone, and it's a total disaster. Or maybe you see it on a huge monitor, and everything's just stretched out and weird. Yeah, that frustration is real. Trying to make a site work on every screen size can feel like you're trying to solve an impossible puzzle. And this slide, well, it just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the old way, just writing tons and tons of messy custom code for every single screen. It's slow, it's a nightmare to maintain, and it's super inconsistent. But on the right, that's the modern way. It's organized, it's fast, and it's responsive right from the get-go. And that's exactly what we're going to learn how to do. So how do we actually get from that mess on the left to the clean setup on the right? How do we tame that chaos? Well, it all starts with having the right tools for the job. And here they are. Meet your new web development toolkit. This is Bootstrap 5 and Sass, and I like to think of them as the dynamic duo that will help you build professional, responsive websites faster than you ever thought was possible. So what exactly is Bootstrap? The best way to think about it is like a giant, perfectly organized box of Legos for building websites. There's a reason it's the most popular toolkit in the world. It gives you this huge collection of pre-made, reusable parts, things like navigation bars, buttons, and cards, so you don't have to waste time building everything from scratch. And if Bootstrap is the box of Legos, then Sass is the magic tool that lets you customize the color, shape, and size of every single one of those pieces with incredible speed. It basically adds superpowers to your CSS. It lets you use things like variables, which means you can define a color one time and then use it all over your website. It's an absolute game changer for keeping your styles clean and easy to manage. Now, what makes Bootstrap 5 such a big deal? Well, first, it finally got rid of a clunky old library called jQuery. This is huge because it now uses modern, pure JavaScript, which makes your websites lighter and a whole lot faster. It also added support for those extra large monitors we talked about. And, maybe most importantly, it dropped support for Internet Explorer. That lets it use all the latest and greatest browser features without being held back. Okay, let's get into the foundation of every single Bootstrap site. Before you even think about placing a button or an image, you have to understand the blueprints. And that blueprint is the grid system. This is the secret to controlling your page layouts. And at the heart of that whole grid system is this one magic number, 12. Every horizontal row on your website is invisibly divided into 12 columns. And this number is just brilliant because it's divisible by 2, 3, 4, and 6. That gives you incredible flexibility to create pretty much any layout you can dream up. So how does the grid actually handle all those different devices? It uses something called breakpoints. As you can see here, Bootstrap has these predefined sizes for everything from a small phone to a huge desktop monitor. This lets you tell your layout exactly how to behave at each size. For instance, you could say, hey, on a phone, make this content take up all 12 columns, but on a desktop, only use 8 columns and leave 4 for a sidebar. And the best part? It's all automatic. All of your content is going to live inside one of two main containers. You'll use the regular dot container for a standard fixed-width layout that's centered on the page. This is what you see on most websites. But if you want your design to stretch from the absolute left edge to the right edge of the screen, you'll use dot container fluid. It's a simple choice, but it defines the whole feel of your site. Okay, so we've got our blueprints. Now it's time for the fun part, adding the building blocks. We're going to fill our layout with content using Bootstrap's famous UI components. These are those pre-built Lego pieces that let you assemble a professional-looking site in just minutes. First up, the nav bar. I mean, every website needs navigation, right? Instead of spending hours coding one from scratch, Bootstrap gives you a fully responsive component for your logo and your links that just works right out of the box. Next, we have the card. This is honestly one of the most versatile components you will ever use. It's just a perfect little container for an image and some text. It's great for blog post previews, product listings, user profiles, you name it. Super flexible. You ever need a pop-up window? Well, that's a modal. It's perfect for things like login forms, or those "are you sure" confirmation messages, or even just displaying extra details without making the user leave the page. It creates a really clean user experience. And then there's the accordion. You have definitely seen this on countless FAQ pages.
It lets you create those neat, collapsible sections of content, which keeps your layout super tidy and lets users find exactly what they're looking for without a lot of clutter.
Okay, using pre-built components is amazing for speed, but it brings up a really common question. How do I stop my site from looking like every other Bootstrap site out there? And that is a fantastic question. That's where our second hero, Sass, comes into play. This is how you make the design truly your own.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This setup looks a little technical, but trust me, think of it as a simple, one-time investment that unlocks unlimited creative power. You just install a couple of background tools, run a command or two to get Bootstrap and Sass into your project, and then you add one tiny script. That script basically acts as your personal assistant, automatically turning your powerful Sass code into the regular CSS that browsers can actually understand. And right here, this is where the magic happens. Once you're set up, the power you have is just incredible. Bootstrap has variables for everything: colors, fonts, spacing, you name it. So imagine you want to change the main primary color of your website from that default blue to this awesome vibrant orange. Instead of digging through hundreds of lines of CSS code, you just write this one single line. And instantly, every single button, link, and primary colored thing on your entire site updates. That is the power of Sass.
So you've got the blueprint with the grid, and you've got the building blocks with components. Now let's wrap up with just a few pro tips to help you get started building right away.
Okay, just a few quick tips to save you some headaches. First, and I can't stress this enough, always start with the official starter template from the Bootstrap docs. Don't try to build from scratch. Second, learn to love the utility classes. These let you make small style changes incredibly fast, like adding P3 for a bit of padding or FW bold for bold text. Third, give your users some visual feedback, like a spinner, so they know your app is actually working. And finally, a classic beginner mistake: tooltips and popovers need one little piece of JavaScript to turn them on. Don't forget that step. So there you have it. You understand the chaos of responsive design, and now you have the tools to actually tame it. You have the blueprint with the grid system, you've got the building blocks with components, and you've got the power to customize literally anything with Sass. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?